name's Linda and I'm a creative arts therapist from Lennox Head, Australia, and my video clip today is showing two clients going through a process and the unknown that presents for them as they go through this. I've asked them to pick two images and to write about them and to then represent this. I've done this in the way that this is really good to get a client out of their thinking process more into their feeling. My client has chosen an image that stands out for her or speaks to her. This will allow her thoughts and images and emotions to naturally emerge through this process. She then begins to write what comes to her and then underlines key words that stand out for her. This allows her to get an image or a feeling, which she then represents in another creative modality, which she has chosen to use drawing. Changing creative modalities helps the client to get a deeper visual understanding of unknown parts of themselves that naturally emerge through this process. So why do you want to do that? Why do you want to just rub it all out? Do you see anything if you step back and have a look at it?
No. It's funny when I look at it now, because now I can look at it and kind of not think about it, where before I wasn't, I was just doing it.
Yeah.
Where now, when I think about it, I go, oh, I would have changed that.
At this point, my client was able to take a step back from her emotions and observe her visual representation of these emotions and reflect and put into perspective of how she really is.
I would have probably put that line there, because I wouldn't think that it was half, and, I wouldn't think that...
So, yeah, what part of you is that confused part?
Yeah, I would see now, I would kind of probably say it would be here.
Is that from talking about it? Do you think that's...
Because I don't think it consumes that much of my life.
Well, that's a good thing.
Depending, at the time, you go through phases where sometimes things are just like, oh, and then it might. But I wouldn't say that...
Looking at that,
I wouldn't say that that's half of my life. Well, I don't want to think that it is.
Yeah.
I like to think that I'm more positive than negative.
So how was that for you, Kath?
I actually found this quite emotional. When I first started, I didn't have any idea of what I was going to draw, and then from the pictures just went with what I was feeling in my gut and in my heart. It's been really powerful breaking down my feelings and how I do actually feel. To start with, I did initially think that I went from this good feeling to this really negative downward spiral, but now looking at this and processing it, I can see that I just go into a kind of a bit of a grey, unappreciated area, and through negative thought I then go into the despair feeling. But I know that looking at this now, reflecting and thinking about gratitude for what I have, and thinking about the things that I can't change, and working on improving the things that are good in my life now. Yeah, it's been a really powerful thing, actually.
That's great. So the art therapy's really helped you to visually see what you haven't been able to.
Yeah, definitely has. Yeah.
That's great. My next client chose to use a mask to represent the face that she puts on around her friends and different environments. It wasn't until she actually physically took the ribbon off that she could see a different perspective, and the shift happened for her to see that she doesn't have to respond this same way. Dana, how was that for you?
It's pretty good to just like have a visual representation of how I'm feeling, I guess. And at first I had no idea what I was going to do, but then I don't know, it just started flowing out and I just really wanted to paint and yeah.
And can you tell me a little bit about your mask?
Well, I guess the mask represents me, and that I have like a bad side and a good side, and there's people and like exterior things that influence me and everyone, like especially at school, and you're like always scared of people judging you. So I guess this side is like me just being myself and doing what I want. And the other side is like when I'm influenced by people and when I'm just not myself. And the ribbon around the eyes is just the people, like because they can't see me for who I am. And that influences this side, that side.
It's a lot bigger this side here, the ribbon and the paint that you've used. Can you tell me about that?
Well, people, like when they influence you, they want to change who you are, but this side is already influenced and that's not who I am, so that side doesn't need to be changed because it's not me, but the other side is me. And if I'm like scared of getting judged or just scared of failure, then that has a lot bigger influence on me.
Okay, the people here.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So there's a lot of orange and red here. Does that represent anything?
It's pretty much just, I know, I guess it represents anger because I want to be who I am and I want to do what I want to do. And when I'm scared of getting judged or whatever, then that makes me angry because I just want to be who I am and not feel that I have to be someone else.
Right, so do you shut down basically who you are on this side?
Yeah, it's just, I guess, yeah, I'm just on that side. I shut down who I really am and like just change myself. I think it's to make myself like feel better so that I fit in or so that people don't think I'm silly or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dana, I wonder what it would be like to actually take the ribbon off. I wonder what that would look like and feel. Wow, that changes it, doesn't it? What do you see when you look at it now?
I see that my eyes are open and I can look into the future and see more of the good side and that things won't influence me and I just seem more open and
Yeah,
it looks a lot prettier too.
it does. It doesn't look as dark, does it?
No.
It's like it's changed the whole look of it. You can actually, it's almost like you could be both parts without
Yeah.
being so dark.
It doesn't look like there's as much of a divide.
A split,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because you've got this split going here. And then you also had the split there, isn't it? Does it feel a lot better?
It does. It feels like I'm not restrained as much. Like when the ribbon was on, looked really closed off, but now
You couldn't see, could you?
no. And now that it's off, it seems a lot lighter and more positive, I guess.
Wonder how you could take that ribbon off yourself, where you're not as influenced by others. Wonder how you could do that.
Just doing what I feel is right and not feeling like I'm going to be judged or anyone's going to think of me differently.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, not letting people's opinions affect me.
Yeah, definitely.